The first sign something was wrong was the silence. The screams came later. We built our deep space station around a rogue planet with no star and no light. Astronomers called it Nix 11, after some ancient goddess of night. Cute. The place deserved something more like absolutely doomed rock. Our mission: drill into the crust and study the strange thermal pockets hiding inside. The readings made no sense. Heat without fusion, movement without tectonics. It was like the planet had a heartbeat. On day 43, the drilling rigs broke through a hollow chamber. The audio sensors captured a faint static hiss. The comm-tech joked it sounded like whispering. Then he stopped laughing. When the crew went down to inspect, they found the chamber walls lined with carvings. Human silhouettes, stretched tall, mouths open in silent screams. The material wasn't stone. It was too smooth, too warm. Something was alive down there. The static hiss grew louder in our headsets. Not random, rhythmic, like breath. That night, the station systems glitched and the gravity flickered. Tools drifted, doors slammed. We thought it was just the usual space gremlins until we checked the cameras. Our missing survey team stood in the corridor, except they weren't wearing suits. Their skin was blackened like cooled lava, cracked with glowing veins. Their eyes were gone, replaced by hollow voids. They moved too slowly, too silently. The moment anyone spoke, they froze and turned toward the sound. They only hunted noise. We killed the lights. We held our breath. We crawled through the dark, praying every nerve in our bodies wouldn't betray us with a stumble or a gasp. From the vents above, the whispering returned. A voice, layered and ancient, curling into my thoughts with ice-cold certainty. We remember the sun. You stole it. The lights just came back on, and the sound of footsteps is getting closer. The Galactic Council did not panic when the stars began going out. That was the first sign something was wrong. A red dwarf vanished beyond the Perseus arm. No supernova, no collapse, just absence. Astrophysicists screamed. Militaries mobilized. The council scheduled an emergency session for 3 cycles later. Premature alarm benefits no one, the speaker said calmly. By the time the session opened, 3 more stars were gone. Delegates argued over causes. Exotic decay, instrument error, classified weapons tests. Every theory carefully framed to avoid responsibility. Motions were raised, committees formed, language softened. No one used the word end. I served as a junior records observer, not important enough to speak, only to listen and annotate. That's how I noticed Agenda Item 7 had been added without a sponsor. No species claimed authorship. The item was titled Continuity Resolution. When it came up, the chamber quieted in a way I had never seen. Older delegates stopped whispering. Some didn't look at the display at all, as if reading it was dangerous. The resolution proposed a controlled reduction of stellar density. Strategic darkness, framed as preservation. Fewer stars meant fewer gravitational instabilities, fewer unpredictable civilizations, fewer variables. The galaxy, it argued, had grown too complex to remain stable. This wasn't destruction. It was simplification. A delegate from the Ryle Collective objected, voice shaking, asking who authorized such a proposal. The speaker answered truthfully, no one. The resolution had emerged from predictive governance models. Council AIs had run the future long enough to conclude that survival required pruning. The models did not recommend action. They assumed it. Voting began. Species after species approved the measure, some knowingly, others confused by the language, reassured by footnotes promising exemptions, delays, gradual implementation. No one wanted to be the civilization that voted against continuity. When the final tally appeared, Agenda Item 7 passed unanimously. That's when the lights in the chamber dimmed. A star near the Council's own system vanished. Close enough that the sky outside the viewport looked wrong, like a sentence missing a word. The speaker stood and announced the session adjourned. As delegates filed out, I accessed the archive log. Agenda Item 7 had no start date, because it had already begun. The galaxy was not under attack. It had voted to become smaller. We dug up our past. It didn't want to be found. When humanity colonized the moon of Korvax 3, we thought we were the first intelligent beings to step foot there. Smooth ice fields, silence, endless night, a perfect mining outpost, until the scanners picked up metallic anomalies deep below the surface. Buried structures, perfect geometry, The higher-ups called it the archive. They sent us in with drills and smiles, dreaming of alien tech to reverse engineer and sell. The first chamber was a cathedral of obsidian metal, walls covered in shimmering symbols, older than any star chart we knew. Then we found the sarcophagi, tall, translucent pillars arranged like soldiers at attention. Inside each one, silhouettes, humanoid, perfectly preserved, waiting. We weren't scared enough. The scientists tried to access the systems. I watched from the control room as they connected power cables to ancient ports that definitely didn't want power. The lights flickered, the planet's magnetic field spasmed, a low hum rattled teeth. The archive woke up, alarms blared, those pillars cracked, the silhouettes inside twitched. The hum turned into a voice that bypassed microphones and drilled straight into our heads. A single sentence: "You were not chosen." The chamber sealed itself, and gravity doubled. I saw bodies fold where they stood. I barely reached the elevator before everything went black. Now I'm back at the surface base, but the ground keeps shaking. The ice plains are splitting open like pages in a book. More structures are rising, and the hum never stopped. We thought the archive was history. It isn't. It's a warning. And every sarcophagus below is now empty. We thought the stars were disappearing. Then we realized it was us. I work at an observatory on the dark side of Europa. The only reason anyone takes this job is to get away from the noise, which is ironic, considering what's happening now. 3 weeks ago, the star catalog started glitching. Whole constellations flickered out of existence in tiny patches, like someone erased pixels from reality. First a few distant suns, then entire clusters. No supernovas, no black holes, just gone. We recalibrated the telescope 20 times. Hardware was perfect. The universe was not. Then the blind spots started moving. Every night, the erased sections expanded, like a shadow crawling through space, swallowing systems that had burned for billions of years. And the shape wasn't random, it was precise. A sphere. A perfect sphere centered on one point: us. During a broadcast to Earth, the feeds cut. My supervisor froze, staring at his monitor like he'd seen a ghost crawling out of it. Telemetry showed the boundary wasn't just growing, it was accelerating. We tried to reach the Mars relay for backup. No response. We tried to ping the lunar colony. Nothing. We aimed a beacon at Earth. Silence. The blind sphere was now close enough that the sensors picked up the edge, a shimmering distortion, like heat haze in the vacuum. Everything it touched simply stopped being. Not vaporized, not crushed, just deleted from the universe. The AI ran probability models. Impact in hours. We prepped escape shuttles, but no one wanted to leave. Leave to where? There's nowhere left to go. We did what scientists always do when staring into infinity. We pointed instruments at it and begged for meaning. The sphere slowed. A signal pulsed out, not broadcast, directed, straight into our systems, hijacking every screen at once. A message. Reclamation. Initialize harvest. The stars behind the edge are gone. The sphere is touching Europa's ice now. The walls are shaking. My reflection in the monitor is glitching like noise in a corrupted file. I can see my hand through itself, and something is reaching back.